Alright, so I'm going to try this a little off the cuff and we'll see if it works. Maybe I'll do more of these, I don't know. But I was one of the few brave people to go out and see Ninja Turtles, so I thought I'd take the bullet for everybody and give you my feels on the new Ninja Turtles movie. So the week before this, I watched all the live-action movies. I didn't watch TMNT, the CGI movie. I just did the live-action one, so I can kind of compare it pretty well to those. So I was in the group of people that was hoping this would be awful. When the first Michael Bay said it, there were going to be aliens. I was just like, let's go with it. Go full retard. Like, let's just go awful and make this a giant train wreck. And then they put Megan Fox in it, and then Shredder was supposed to be a robot. I was like, oh, this is going to be a great train wreck. Oh, it's going to be awesome. But actually, I was pleasantly disappointed. It was pretty good. There was some definite really stupid parts, but overall it was enjoyable. The turtles, you actually get used to their look. I know at first even I thought they looked awful. They were just, that's a bad design. But you kind of get used to the look. They kind of tie in a lot of different scenarios from the different iterations of the turtles. So far as the cartoon's concerned, I'm not sure how the comics are, but as far as the cartoon is concerned, the origin of the turtles is Splinter was a human from Japan that ended up living in the sewers, and he found some turtles that were in some ooze, or the mutagen, and since he touched them, they got human. They like merged with being a human, so they're human turtles. And then he touched a rat, which then made him turn into a rat. So that's kind of how the cartoon worked. In the original live-action movie, Splinter is basically kind of the same, but Splinter was already a rat who learned ninjutsu from his former owner, which is kind of weird. So then they all just grew up. In this one, they were all made in the lab, and then kind of escaped the lab, or had help escaping this lab, and grew large. Weird. So that meant Splinter didn't know any martial arts or anything before this. He was just always a rat. They explain that they know it from a book, and that's one of those glorious, stupid moments. They learned all their ninjutsu skills from a book that they found in the sewer. Which, I mean, if it's just that easy, I need to possibly learn ninjutsu. But yeah, that was one of the glorious, stupid moments. So they played with the origin a bit more. They tied April O'Neil to the Turtles a lot more. I think I'm already going to preface this with this as kind of spoiler heavy, but another thing is the guy that always plays bad guys in every movie ends up being a bad guy. Shocker. But they didn't kind of keep that too long. It was pretty obvious. Shredder looked pretty awesome. He wasn't a full robot. There was a dude inside like a mech suit, so it's like an armored kind of mech thing. It was pretty good. He's for the first time, the turtles were actually able to fight him directly. In the original ones, it was Splinter in the first one, and then he kind of just hurt himself in the second one. So that was kind of cool to see them fight that. Let's see. Yeah, the fighting is really awesome. Obviously, it's easier to do now, doing CG instead of guys in suits. But I think the fighting ended up looking pretty sweet. The Turtles kept kind of their cartoon personalities, which is kind of fun. So Leo is the straight up leader. Raph is super serial and the badass. Donatello is the nerdy one, and they even gave him glasses because everyone that's got glasses is a nerd, apparently. And then Mikey is still. They always kept that, but Mike's still always the kind of joking guy, the comic relief and everything. But it's kind of Donatello is kind of the biggest change, at least from the live action. Up until the third movie, they didn't really say he was like a genius and all that. They just kind of he was kind of just Mikey's buddy. So it's kind of cool to see him back in that role, but they kind of gave him too much, being that he can do just anything with his computers. He's just like, do, okay, that's done, and that was pretty stupid. Well, but and there's a glorious moment where they realize that they're bulletproof, and I thought that was so stupid, but it was really funny. But it ended up being a decent movie. They made some nods to the cartoon. They constantly talked about how stupid of a premise this is, which I actually really liked. Megan Fox wasn't great, but she wasn't awful either. For one, she's trying to play a grown-up, and she just doesn't fill that role yet. I don't know what it is, but she's just not a grown-up yet. What else? So I think that was it. But actually, really good movie. I'd suggest seeing it. It was fun. I mean, it's not going to win awards. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it actually was not terrible. So I would say check it out. I actually would say it's better than the original live action movie. Take that, internet.